My name is Cassandra Perez Cobb. This is my first semester attending Strayer University. I am a wife and mother of 3 beautiful children. I'm currently employed by the American Red Cross as an assistant database administrator, but it's not a job that I'm very passionate about. I recently moved from New York City to Suffolk, Virginia to give my children a change of scenery. I hope to graduate from Strayer University and get a job working alongside law enforcement as a private investigator while making enough money to support my family. My husband would also finally be able to work fewer hours because the majority of the finances would no longer be on his shoulders. When I do manage to find a few hours for myself, I enjoy crocheting, listening to music, and catching up on shows that I have missed. My goals for success are to 1. Be able to balance my home, work, and school life comfortably. 2. To use what I learned at Straya to help individuals and law enforcement investigate and solve cases. And 3. To set a good example for my children by obtaining my BA by the end of the year 2019. When I attended college for the first time, I was forced to drop out. I couldn't find the time to balance children, my home life, and working. I could barely find the time to study, let alone complete assignments. I'm terrified that I will be forced to leave school again due to bad grades or not being able to find the balance I need to succeed in school. My plan is to set aside 2 to 3 hours a day, 3 to 4 days a week to study, review notes and videos, and to complete assignments. I will also set aside 1 to 2 hours daily to spend with my children and husband. My second fear is that I will start out in my courses strong and then slowly spiral downward due to disorganization. I often feel overwhelmed with everything that is going on in my life and never know where to begin when trying to make a plan. Deadlines are constantly creeping up on me, and I am forced to stress at the last minute to get the task done. I also often feel anxious when I think about all of the tasks that I still have to complete. My plan is to be motivated and stay organized as best as I can. I will do this by writing on paper why I want to stay organized and tag it up somewhere to keep me motivated. At the beginning of every week, I will write down all of my upcoming activities, assignments, chores, and reminders in a planner or planner app and keep it with me at all times in case I have to make changes. I will print out my syllabi and reference them often, and most importantly, I will try to keep a consistent schedule. If I plan to study on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, then I will only study on those days. My ideal study schedule would be Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If for any reason I cannot study on one of my scheduled study days, I will use Sunday at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. as a backup. Two of my heroes in life are J.K. Rowling and Stephen Hawking. J.K. Rowling overcame poverty and being a single parent and ended up writing one of the most successful children's series in history, Harry Potter. Stephen Hawking, despite having a degenerative disease, has become the greatest mind in modern physics. They both inspire me to never give up on my dreams, live life to the fullest, and work hard. Attached are 2 videos that show just how inspirational these 2 people are. My husband fully supports my education. He keeps the kids entertained while I try to study and complete assignments. He is financially supportive and contributes to our household by taking care of most of the chores and errands. Most importantly, he is emotionally supportive. My mother is the most supportive person I know. She has always been there for me in more ways than one. When my husband and I struggled financially, my mother was there to help out. After I had my second child and I couldn't figure out how to balance work, school, and more than one child, my mother was there to babysit and be a supportive grandmother. There was a time that my car broke down and financially I could not afford to fix it. My mother drove me everywhere I needed to go. Anything that I have ever asked of my mother, she has done. I don't think that I will be able to finish school without her support. Next semester, I am scheduled to start my first math class and my first business class. The following semester in the spring, I'm scheduled to start my first English class and my first criminal justice class. However, I am expecting an English transfer credit, so that class will need to be adjusted when the time comes. And for the fourth quarter, I am scheduled to start my first psychology class and my first communication class. I have chosen to work in the investigation and security services industry as a private investigator. This industry is expected to grow 11% from 2012 to 2022. Private detectives and investigators mostly need several years of work experience in law enforcement. Workers must also have a high school diploma, and the vast majority of states require private detectives and investigators to have a license. Demand for private detectives and investigators will stem from security concerns and the need to protect confidential information. Strong competition can be expected for jobs. The job of a private investigator is to track down information. A basic job description may include employing investigative methods, conducting interviews, carrying out surveillance, and analyzing gathered research and data. Private investigator jobs involve everything from resolving legal issues and financial disputes to providing closure for clients regarding personal matters. The median pay for a private investigator in the state of Virginia is $42,000 to $48,000 annually. In Virginia, the number of private investigators is fairly low, so I will not have the level of competition for jobs as I would in a larger metropolitan area. Private investigators are often required to have a few years of experience working in or alongside law enforcement. In the state of Virginia, this is not required. Oftentimes, a degree in criminal justice or other security and investigation work can be just as important to prospective employers. To obtain an entry-level policing position, only a high school diploma is required. Upon my completion of my Strayer courses, I would like a position with a larger law enforcement agency where my degree is required. After working with law enforcement for a minimum of 5 years, I will then begin seeking employment with a law firm, as I am more interested with the legal aspects of private investigating. I will constantly update my knowledge of the industry through continued education. I also plan to network within the industry to help land a job with a law firm. Lastly, along with my state license, I will obtain a license with the National Association of Legal Investigators to show the firms I am contacting that I understand investigative procedure and that I have the skills to analyze information to see if it is relevant to a case. I have broken up my 3 main goals into smaller, more attainable goals. My first long-term goal is to be able to balance my home, work, and school life comfortably by April 2016. I plan to achieve this goal by first scheduling time to take care of myself and relax. I should learn to do this by January 2016. Secondly, I will try to get organized and stay organized. I should learn how to get organized and stay organized by April of 2016. My second long-term goal is to use what I learned at Strayer to help individuals and law enforcement investigate and solve cases. I should be able to apply my education in the real world by June 2020. I will do this first by obtaining my PI license and renew every 24 months by February of 2020. And secondly, I will keep up with the latest methods of private investigating through continued education by January 2020. My third long-term goal is to set a good example for my children by obtaining my BA by 2019, October of 2019 to be specific. I plan on doing this by pushing myself to obtain the highest GPA I possibly can by October 2019, and to also attend every semester from now until the fall of 2019.